Welcome in, everybody. Starting game number 2, it's going to be Tanner Gaff on the bump here for St. Francis. Gaff with a 2.70 ERA, 3.1 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Opposing batters hitting 167 against the junior Tanner Gaff. 6'4", 220 pounds from Columbia City, Indiana, Whitco High School. And leading off game number 2 here, it's going to be number 11, Eddie Dopowski. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Dopowski did not play in game number 1. Entering today at .342 batting average, 25 hits, 20 runs scored, and 73 at-bats with 8 RBI, 10 walks, 17 strikeouts. Down in this count, 0-2 to Dopowski. 6 foot, 180 pounds from Romeo, Michigan. Gaff just misses outside. 1-2's your count. Hit at Bova. Comes up firing to Prince. No. I never saw his foot leave the bag. Guess they're going to call a leadoff single there for Tech.
Keep pounding the zone, kids. Go.
That'll bring to the plate Tyler Childs. He also did not play in game number 1. Childs with a .429 batting average, 21 hits, 11 runs scored, and 49 ABs with 6 RBI, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 6 for 7 in stolen base attempts. 0-1's your count. Second pitch is a ball. Take a look real quick. You tell me if Tyler Prince's foot left the bag. Looked pretty good here. 1-1's your count. Gaff, the righty, bats left. Lawrence Tech wearing their black unis here in game number 2. Dopowski, 9 stolen bases in 13 attempts. The 6-4-3 double play for the Cougs. 2 up, 2 down. For Sean Fannin. Fannin was outstanding in game number 1. He was 3 for 5 with 2 runs and 2 RBI. Oh, on the count. Evened up at 1 apiece.
Go, kids. Go, keep up.
The 2-1. Big cut, swing and a miss. Last time out for Gaff was against Siena Heights back on March the 21st. Faced 4 batters. Gave up 0 hits, 0 runs. He has 1 strikeout on the season. That was against Osbury back on February the 2nd. A 1.67 batting average for the opponents against Tanner Gaff. Looking to field this one. And I don't know if Prince called him off there. Just some miscommunication. As the count remains at 2-2. Gaff last year a 7.53 ERA and 14.1 innings pitched. Gets him looking. for the first strikeout of the game for Tanner Gaff, as we'll head to the bottom half of the inning. Scoreless from Cougar Field.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
So leading it off for St. Francis will be Brady Harris. It's David Miller getting the start in right field here in game number 2. Brady was 1 for 4 with a run. And 2 strikeouts in game number 1. 1-0 is your count. Your pitcher is Jay Gallant, a 2.05 ERA and 1 complete game under his belt. In 22 innings pitched, he's given up 17 hits, 9 runs, only 5 earned, 8 walks, 14 strikeouts. Opposing hitters are batting .213 against Gallant. Down in this count, 3-1. Gallant's a freshman, 6'4", 185 from Saginaw, Michigan. One hop chop over to the third baseman for out number 1. I'll bring up Tyler Prince. Prince 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Game number 1. Let's go, baby. Prince entering today with a .351 batting average and a team best .518 on base percentage. 0-1's your count. Prince, check swing, he's got him. 0-2. The 1 strikeout was the 3-pitch at bat. They caught him looking. That'll miss upstairs. 1-2 your count. Tomorrow, Huntington will be at Grace. Taylor will be at Goshen. And Wesleyan will be at Spring Arbor.
Let's roll it 2, Fry.
That was the first strikeout of the game there by Tech. I'll bring up Noah Frymuth. Frymuth 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in game number 1. He has an 11-game hit streak going on, trying to extend that to 12 games. He also had a walk.
Good looks, good looks.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece to Noah Frymuth, just a junior. Frymuth listed at 6'3", 220 pounds. Starting center fielder here in game number 2. Came into the game to play left field in game number 1. It was Jordan Siddons getting the start out in center field. 3-1's your count. Noah Frymuth, the hottest bat in the Crossroads League, back-to-back Crossroads League Player of the Year.
Good looks. Get out there. Way to hold up, big fella.
That's the first time since 2009 that's happened for St. Francis. Travis Pachka was the last back-to-back Crossroads League Player of the Week for the Cougars. 2 outs. Frymuth on first for Harold Wolf. Wolf was 2 for 4 with a run and 2 RBI. That was in game number 1 today. Up in this count, 1-0. To Jay Gallant, the freshman.
Good, there you go, Harold. Come on, baby, find a way for it.
Tall, lanky pitcher. Boy, Lawrence Tech, they even switched their hats in between games.
You go, Harry.
Cougars still rolling with the white button-ups.
Come on, Harry. What do you say, Harrison? You see him now?
2-1 your count. Tech once again. They got the American flag on the back of their hat. Frymuth is off and running, and they get him for out number 3. We head to the top of the second. Still scoreless here from Cougar Field.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Change for the Cougar defense here. Into left field will be Mikhail McCowan. He will now bat in Tyler Prince's spot. At first base will be Jack Harris. Harris was the second first baseman in game number 1 as well, after starting off in left field. First pitch swung on by Brian Corbett. That's out number 1. That'll bring the plate Logan Barker, the DH.
Hey, let's go. Somebody on that. Thank you.
That's the foul ball, 0-1's your count. Barker 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBI in game number 1. He also had a walk and a strikeout. Tanner picking up his second strikeout of the game for out number 2. That'll bring the plate Jackson Walkowiak. Walkowiak was 0 for 2 with a run scored and 2 walks. And a strikeout in game number 1. 1-0 the count from Gaff. Gaff starting this game off well. (2-0) now your count. Once again, folks, you'll want to make sure to get on the Twitter handle at SF Cougars or on the Facebook page USF Baseball, that's St. Francis Baseball, We like to tweet out all the highlights from today's doubleheader. You can catch those. The condensed version, you can retweet it or like it, share it on your Facebook page. While Koyak's going to draw the walk with 2 outs. Runner at first for Ryan Robinette. He was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and an RBI.
Just a touch.
Also had 2 walks in game number 1. 1-0's the count. Both teams had 10 hits in game number 1. St. Francis had 6 errors, 0 for Lawrence Tech. 2-0's the count. Noah Frymuth nearly picked up home run number 4 on the season. Hit one right off the yellow part of the fence. 2-1, your count with 2 outs. Got a pickup basketball game getting started just beyond the left field fence. People itching to get out here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. 50-degree weather here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I want to say it's about a 3-hour drive here for Lawrence Tech to get back home. They call Southfield, Michigan home. Ball up the gut, unassisted by Bova as we head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless here. The World Baseball Academy, Cougar Field at the Ash Center.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crow. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Kyle Wolter, now your new batter. A 10.22 ERA in 12.1 innings pitched. He's given up 21 hits, 16 runs, 14 of those earned, 11 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .412. Against the brand new pitcher, Kyle Wolter. Wolter's a junior, 6'2", 200 pounds from Canton, Michigan. Prepped at Plymouth High School. Your batter's Wolf. Wolf, who was at the plate in the first when Frymuth was thrown out at second trying to steal. Wolf 2 for 4 with a run and 2 RBI there in game number 1. A 12-4 win by the Blue Devils. 2-0 is your count. Big cuts, swing and a miss. Harold entering today at .261 batting average with 13 RBI.
Yeah, let's go, Harry!
This Saturday, Lawrence Tech will travel to Cornerstone for a pair to resume Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference play. Leadoff batter is aboard as Wolf draws the walk. For St. Francis will travel to Bethel on Friday with a 3 p.m. first pitch. Saturday, 1 p.m. first pitch. Your batter now, Jack Harris, 1 for 4 with a run and a strikeout in game number 1. Down in this count 0-1 after the swing and a miss. Foul ball, I should say. Jack, a .324 batting average, 24 hits, and 74 ABs entering today. Really started off the season as a rotational player. Now has solidified himself as the starting left fielder. The normal lineup for St. Francis usually goes Harrison left, Frymuth in center, McCowan in right, Wolf at first, Bova at second, Harris at short. Gets them looking. Route number 1. 1 out brings up Caden Sullivan. He was 1 for 2 in game number 1. Gaff at third, Brady Harris at short, Tony Bova at second, Harold Wolf at first, Vollmer behind the dish, and your starting pitcher. Or you can have Nagy behind the dish. Caden Sullivan gets his first hit of the game. We got runners at first and second. Well, Sullivan's been doing some good work at the plate. That brings up David Miller, 0 for 2 with a strikeout in game number 1. Miller was 1 for 4 with a run in game number 2 against Marion. He was 1 for 2 in game number 1. He was 3 for 4 at Trine this past Monday. Had a 3-game hit streak going on until game number 1 here against Lawrence Tech. 1-0 is your count. Again, Miller was 0 for 2 in that game 1. Miller, a junior, 6'5", 205 from White Pigeon, Michigan. White Pigeon High School and Glen Oaks Junior College, where he transferred in from. Up in this count, 3-0. What is it about the tall batters? They got a good eye at the plate.
Come on, big fella. Come on, baby.
My favorite player growing up was Frank Thomas. He was plenty tall and had maybe the best eye at the plate. Frank always hit better when he was playing first base, primarily though a DH throughout his career. Brings up Tony Bova, 0 for 2 with a walk in game number 1. That's the big hurt, Frank Thomas.
Come on, Bo!
His teammate Little Hurt was Craig Graybeck, utility player, second baseman.
You're on it, baby.
Thanks.
I did grow up watching a lot of Chicago White Sox baseball with Hawk Harrelson and Wimpy. 0-1 your count to Bova, the senior second baseman. Tony, 6 foot, 175 pounds, out of Anderson, Indiana. Anderson High School. What a great start to this game for Tanner Gaff, as that ball misses upstairs. Gaff threw 2 innings, just 27 pitches under his belt, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Tossing a no-hitter right now. Not so much for Lawrence Tech. They've given up a hit. St. Francis 1 hit and 1 error. 2-1 your count to Bova.
We say that 1-3. No.
3-1 now. The new pitcher, it's Kyle Wolter.
Let's go, man. Come on, work. Way ahead, baby. He's got to come to you. He's got to come to you.
Last time out for Wolter was against Indiana Tech. He faced 3 batters and gave up 0 hits. Full count. Not a bad outing for him. The most batters he's faced all year so far has been against Olivet Naz. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. For the junior pitcher, Kyle Wolter. That'll be fouled away. Bova battling at the dish. It's one of the rare plate appearances for Bova where he's not flashed a bunt. That ball's drilled into right center field. Right fielder camping up, but both lead runners will tag up to score. That's Harold Wolf on the sacrifice fly by Tony Bova. Cougars take the lead 1-0. Two outs brings up Matt Vollmer, 1-for-1 with an RBI in game number 1. It's Caden Sullivan at third, Miller at first. Pitch down low for ball 1. Two balls, 0 strikes your count. Throw, and that's a stolen base. David Miller now with 2 stolen bases on the season. With 2 outs, runners at second and third.
There you go.
3-1 now your count with 2 outs. Vollmer with ducks on the pond. Good talk here out of the Cougar dugout. Big cut. Counts full now to Matt Vollmer. Vollmer entering today a .267 batting average, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts on the season. He's either looking for his 3rd walk of the season or his 2nd hit of the day, and that'll be it right there. 2 RBI single. That'll score Caden Sullivan and David Miller. Cougars go up now 3-0. Matt Vollmer.
Yes, David. So weird. Nice shot, Vollmer.
That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Brady Harris.
Come on, Brady.
1-0, now your count to Harris. Make it 2-0 on the wild pitch. That'll be Jordan Siddons taking second. Harris grounded out to the third baseman in his first AB. Entering today with a 195 batting average. The 2-0 here from Walter. Fouled off the backstop. 2-1's your count. Brady getting the start at shortstop in game 1 and game 2. 2-2, now your count with 2 outs.
Good job. Dang.
The pinch runner, Siddons, who started game number 1 in center field.
That was gross.
Got a full count now. Siddons with 7 runs scored on the season. Upstairs, Harris draws the walk.
Yeah.
All right, man.
We have runners at first and second. That's the 3rd walk of the inning for Walter.
Your turn, Mick.
That'll bring up Mikhail McCowan. Prince started off the game, struck out looking in his first AB. McCowan taking over. First pitch swung on and fouled out of play for strike number 1. Mikhail in game number 1 was 2 for 2 at the dish.
Come on, Mick.
Hey, stay out of it.
Mikhail's been hitting the ball hard all season, yet enters today with a .211 batting average. 19 strikeouts to 9 walks. Harris at first, Siddons at second with the 0-1. Mikhail. That's going to be picked up by the shortstop. Throws him out on the run. What a great play. We've seen it all day by Ryan Robinett as we head to the top of the 3rd. Cougs take the lead 3-0.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Lawrence Tech, 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors. St. Francis, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Here in the top of the 3rd, it's Colin Vandergranden. Let's look at that one more time. Vandergroden, 222 batting average entering today. 4 hits, 1 run scored, and 18 at-bats with 4 RBI. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. For the catcher, Colin Vandergroden, sophomore, 6 foot 205 from Clio, Michigan. He'll draw the walk. 4 straight pitches. Brings up Logan Grizzle, the pinch runner from game number 1. Grizzle, a .235 batting average, 8 hits, 10 runs scored, and 34 ABs. 5 RBI, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Grizzle takes that first pitch for a ball. Scored 1 run in game number 1. One 100 count. Back safely is number 31, the courtesy runner, Nick Allen, freshman, 6 foot 180 from Macomb, Michigan. A lot of freshmen getting time here for Lawrence Tech. 2-1 count. Counts even up at 2-2 after the called second strike. Lawrence Tech, a fairly new program in the WAC. Swing and a miss. Nearly had the strikeout, throw him out there. But for Gaff, that's his 3rd strikeout of the game. 1 out brings up Eddie Dubkowski, who singled back in the 1st. He'll foul off that first pitch 0-1. So for Lawrence Tech, their first stats are recorded in 2017. Hit into right field. Miller makes the grab for out number 2, advancing to third base is Allen, the courtesy runner. 2 outs for Tyler Childs, who grounded out to second base in his first AB. Childs, number 15, is a junior at 6 foot 185 from Burt, Michigan, Birch Run High School. 1-0 is the count. Slow roller over to, that was number 8, Will Zeller, making the out for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, 3-0, St. Francis.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
New pitcher for Lawrence Tech is Matt Baker. They too have a Matt Baker. This guy has a 21.21 ERA and 4.2 innings pitched. He's given up 8 hits, 11 runs, all earned, 14 walks, 5 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .381 against Matt Baker. Our Matt Baker has a 5.18 ERA and a team best 24.1 innings pitched. Noah Frymouth leading it off. He'll take that first pitch upstairs for ball 1. How about Tanner Gaff with a no-no through 3? That ball's drilled into left center. Good job cutting that off by the center fielder, Stopkowski. Third hit of the game there for St. Francis. Noah now 1 for 1. That brings up Harold Wolf. Wolf, who walked and scored a run in his first at-bat.
Give me that, John. Come on, Harold, let's go, big. Lock in. Oh, did you play?
The gas in there for strike 1.
Come on, Harold.
Wolf 2 for 4 with the run scored, 2 RBI in game 1. Entering today, .261 batting average, 18 hits and 8 runs scored in 69 ABs. Cougars, a team .277 batting average. Lawrence Tech at .316, ranked number 29 in the country. St. Francis, 4th best team batting average in the Crossroads League. Entering today, Wolf into shallow left center for out number 1. Brings up Jack Harris. Does not. The new player at first base is Will Zeller. He had to put out in the top half of the inning. Zeller with a .333 batting average, 1 hit and 3 ABs. 1 strikeout on the season. Zeller, a junior from Defiance, Ohio, 6'1", 185 pounds. Up in this count, 1-0. Puts down the bunt. Good play by Baker getting the lead runner on the fielder's choice. That'll bring the plate. Caden Sullivan swinging a hot bat. Caden singled and scored back in the second.
Come on, Caden.
Sullivan currently a 5-game hit streak. Second best for the Cougs behind Frymouth. Frymouth has extended his hitting streak to 12 games with the single. 3 batters ago. Beautiful pitch right down the pipe. 1-1 your count. With 2 outs. Good eye as that pitch misses low and outside. Cougars 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. Trying to remember where that error was. Might have been that Aaron Vollmer, that pass ball. Sullivan now full count. Thought he had the walk there. Once again, currently riding a 5-game hit streak. Sully gonna go to right center field. He's been ripping that ball. Takes a nasty first hop. Zeller all the way to third. Back-to-back singles for Caden Sullivan will bring up number 29, David Miller. David walked, stole a base, and scored a run back in the second. It's Baker on the bump. Miller swings at that first pitch. Into left field for out number 3. We head to the top of the 4th, 3-0. Cougs on top.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Here in the top of the 4th, how about Tanner Gaff? 42 pitches under his belt, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Gaff will be facing the number 3 batter, Sean Fannin, and then Corbett. Fannin in the top of the 1st in game number 1, a solo home run. That was his 2nd home run on the season. There's the first hit of the game for Lawrence Tech. Fannin with the single. That'll bring up the first baseman, Brian Corbett. Corbett grounded out to the shortstop in his first AB, Brady Harris. Corbett was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 3 walks. Game number 1. 0-1's your count.
I love it, kid. Good spot. Hey, Bulldog up there, 2-5. Keep pounding.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece. 2-1 now after ball low. Fannin in game number 1 did not have a stolen base. Did advance on a wild pitch. 3-1 with 0 outs. Gaff checks him back at first. Harris been playing a good first base. Miller in right field at 6'5". Doesn't really have a jersey that's long enough, so it's hard to keep tucked in. Corbett draws the walk. We got runners at first and second. Just the 3rd walk of the game for Gaff. Coach Dustin Butcher going to come out, have a word with the big righty. Looking at Crossroads League team earned run average, St. Francis in 9th place with a 5.86. Spring Arbor's in last place with a 6.31. Taylor University with the best team ERA at 2.22. At one point, they were sitting at a 1.7. So that difference between 1 and 2 is shortening. Huntington's got the second best team ERA at 4.24. So just a 2-run difference there. Best fielding team in the Crossroads League is Mount Vernon Nass. St. Francis coming in at number 6. Logan Barker struck out in his first at-bat for the designated hitter. He's rocking the Freddie Mercury mustache. Solid stash. That ball's drilled into right center. It's going to fall. Frymuth right off the glove. We've seen that a lot in this game. So Barker reaches first on the E8. That'd be the second error of the game for St. Francis. That'll bring to the plate Jackson Walkowiak. Walked in his first at-bat back in the second. 0 for 2 at the plate with a run, 2 walks, and a K in game number 1. In Frymuth's first at-bat, he ripped that ball right over Walkowiak's head. He just turned around and sprinted towards the fence. It hit off the top of the fence and bounced right back into Walkowiak's glove. For Frymuth, it was an RBI double off the top of the fence. That scored Brady Harris. 2 balls, 1 strike, your count. Infield fly rule. As that gets away from Harris. 1 out on the FO6. Ryan Robinette, the shortstop, coming to the plate. Grounded into the 4 unassisted. That was Tony Bova at second base. The new second baseman is Justice Tussing. Tussing in at second. Robinette wears number 27. A slick fielding shortstop. He has really been outstanding out in the field. Part of the reason why Lawrence Tech had 0 errors in that game, number 1.
Stop that boy. Way to work.
He was making plays and throws on the run. 2-0's the count. Called first strike, 2-1. So once again, St. Francis going to travel to take on Bethel Friday and Saturday. Bethel currently 4-5 in the Crossroads League, 8-14 overall. It's a program that's got a lot of history. Bethel with the 9th worst fielding percentage in the Crossroads League at .935. Harris, that just deflects off his glove, so 1 run going to come home to score on the RBI single by Ryan Robinette. Coming home to score was Sean Fannin. That's his 3rd run scored on the day. That'll bring up Colin Vandergraden. Vander Groden. It says Vander Gronden on the lineup card. It says Groden on the, let's see what it says on the official roster here. Groden, not Gronden. 0-2's the count. Vander Groden walked back in the third. Gaff's given up 2 hits, 1 run, has 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Fastball misses upstairs, 1-2 your count. A lot of gas on that last pitch for Gaff here in the top of the 4th. Ball turned on deep center field. Frymuth has it. He'll come up firing. And that will not be cut off. Just short of third base. So Lawrence Tech picks up their second run as Corbett comes home to score on the sacrifice fly by Vander Groden. For out number 2, that brings up Logan Grizzle. Grizzle struck out in his first at bat.
Hey, Cougars, 2-5.
1-0 is the count. 2 outs here. Runners at second and third. Third base is Barker. Robbing it at second. He's halfway down the line. 2-0 is the count. This Lawrence Tech team, they are as aggressive as it gets on the base pass. Entering today, making the grab, Jack Harris, just off your screen. That was outstanding. Jack's acting like he wants to take over the first base role. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Cougars still up 3-2.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Got a new pitcher. It's number 1, Harry Storch. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 170 from Orlando, Florida, University High School. Cougs up 3-2.
All right, come on, 1 step.
Storch, a 8.25 ERA in 12 innings pitched. He's given up 21 hits, 14 runs, 11 of those earned, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opposing batters are hitting .396. Leading it off is Justice Tussing. Tussing swings at the first pitch. Robbing it on the second hop, fires over to first. for out number 1. That'll bring the plate Matt Vollmer with a 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning. That scored Sullivan and Miller. Vollmer on the day, 2 for 2 with 3 RBI for the senior catcher. 0-1 your count after the called first strike. That ball smacked into left field, right down the line, and it is off the fence. Vollmer just misses a home run by 3 feet with a 1-out double by Matt Vollmer. He rocked that ball.
Go ahead, let's go.
My God. Hey, everybody get the fuck out of here with that one. He smacked that right in his butt.
Vollmer, as the team clears the bench to congratulate him here at the dugout. The new runner is going to be number 43, Vincent Manson. Your batter, it's Brady Harris.
Hey. Eddie. Come on, Brady.
Vollmer now 3 for 3 at the plate. Swing and a miss for Harris for strike number 1. One and one, your count. Brady Harris, the junior shortstop. Harris with a runner in scoring position. It's Manson at second. Checks that for strike 2. 1-2, your count.
Hey, right here, 2-0 up, babe, 2-0 up.
Ball hit up the gut. Robinette's got it. He'll go to third. Manson is safe.
There you go, Tate.
Robinette really trying to get slick there. Not sure if the tag just missed. Manson takes those long strides at 6'4", 175. So we got runners at first and third now for Mikhail McCowan. Mikhail grounded out to the shortstop in his last at-bat. Ball hit into right field. A nice catch by the right fielder, but tagging up to score will be Manson on the sacrifice fly by Mikhail McCowan. 4-2, St. Francis on top. Your batter, it's Noah Fryman.
Good job, man.
With 2 outs.
Hey, you had the green light, you know? You used it.
Did not have the green light there, boys.
Frymuth, 1 for 1 in this game with a walk. 3 for 4 on the day with a run and an RBI. 2 walks. That ball's drilled into right center, making the grab on the run. Sean Fannin, you can see why he's a Gold Glove outfielder. We head to the top of the 5th. Cougs up 4-2.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Two runs on 2 hits for Lawrence Tech. 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for St. Francis. Back out in center field, it's number 2, Jordan Siddons for St. Francis. Leadoff batter, Eddie Dupkowski to lead it off. 0 for 2 in this game. Excuse me, he's 1 for 2 in this game. Down in this count, 0-1. No, I'm sorry, he is 0 for 2 in this game. Not sure why I circled that. Called second strike, 0-2 is your count. Madonna, a perfect 4-0 conference record in the WAC. They're in first place. Concordia with a 3-1 record. Indiana Tech, Michigan Dearborn, and UNOH all with 3-1 conference records. 1-2 is your count. Two balls, 2 strikes now. Tanner Gaff starting this game for the Cougs, pitching well. Only giving up the 2 hits. Full count now at 3-2. That ball smacked into right center. Miller on his horse. Siddons looking to track it down. So we have a leadoff double there by Dopkowski. We'll bring up Tyler Childs, 0 for 2 in this game. Childs starting third base here in game 2. It was Jared Roth starting third base in game number 1. First pitch misses low and outside. Lawrence Tech 2-2 in conference, 17-9 overall. They're currently in 6th place in the WAC. 1-0 is your count. Really should be the WAC without the Hoosier. Just 1 team from Indiana in the conference, 2 teams from Ohio, Lords and UNOH. The University of Northwestern Ohio, one of the top agricultural schools in the country. If you're a farmer, you go to UNOH to play for the Racers. They work on engines, hence the Racers. Taken all the way there was Childs, 3-1, now your count. Well, the right fielder, Fannin, for Lawrence Tech. I'll have to remember to check out his stats at the end of the season. Entering today with the team best 90 at-bats and a .333 batting average. He's been awesome today. Now 4 for 7 at the dish with 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. Full count here to Childs. Just missing. Runners at first and second after the walk. That'll bring up Sean Fannin, the Blue Devil MVP today. So that'll be it for Gaff. We'll come back with his numbers and the new pitcher after this short break.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The new pitcher for your Cougs is Kyle DeConnick, a 7.0 ERA in 18 innings pitched. He's given up 20 hits, 22 runs, only 14 earned, 14 walks, 15 strikeouts. Opposing hitters batting .270 against Kyle. Great start to this game for Tanner Gaff. 4 innings pitched, 78 pitches, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 0 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks for Gaff. Tough spot here for DeConnick, taking on Sean Fannin. Fannin, once again, 4 for 7. 3 RBI, 3 runs scored in this game. 2 RBI in this doubleheader, I should say. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. See if we have a score on that Taylor Indiana Tech game. We don't. Game is being live streamed though. 2-0's the count. Taylor with the artificial infield. They're the first team in the Crossroads League to get it. That ball's drilled. And Mikhail McCowan cannot catch up with it after the diving attempt. That is going to be a 2 RBI double. No! Oh, it is. Coach Butch not too happy about that. We'll take a look at it real quick here, folks. Dropkowski and Childs. They wave around both runs. The throw to Harris. Harris comes home with it. That's close. Try one more time.
Come on, DK. Need one on that, baby. Come on, DK. On that down, baby. Stop.
Yeah, I think he got in. Brian Corbett now, the batter. Takes that first pitch low for ball 1. He walked and scored a run back in the 4th. 0 for 1 in this game. 1 for 3 on the day. That ball was ripped out into left center field. McCowan on his horse dove for it, nearly came up with the grab. Looked like he timed it perfectly. I don't know if that ball just dropped right underneath his mitt or what. It's a great effort, though, by the left fielder, Mikael McCowan. DeConnick, the big lefty. Inside for strike one, 3-1's your count. Kyle DeConnick, 6'2", 195 pounds, from Auburn, Indiana. Went to Perrysville High School. That's in Ohio. Transferred from Bluffton University, the Beavers. Division III school out of Ohio. Full count.
Stay in the game. Let's go. Come on, DK. I'm not good. Best right here. I'm not kid.
Runners at first and second after the walk. That'll bring up Logan Barker, the DH. Reached on an E8 in his last AB. He's 0 for 2.
Have an idea.
In this game, 1 for 5 on the day with 2 runs scored, 3 RBI, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Bunt attempt right off of him for foul for strike one.
Back there.
Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, probably the premier baseball conference north of Missouri, which is really the borderline there for teams that can really compete for national titles. They get started early down the south. He's gone! Ballmer throws out Fannin, trying to steal third base. Route number 1.
Toss, bowl that, boy! Fake. Fake. You need it louder, bro. On 1-4. Come on now, babe. Find that zone. Here we go, 1-4.
Ballmer, very, very good behind the plate for Coach Butcher. Did have that one mistake earlier in the game where the ball just popped out of his mitt. Man, we've seen that a lot today. About 2 or 3 in the outfield. Most recently, it was Frymuth charging in. That was with Barker at the dish. Barker drilled it to center. Frymuth charging in after it. Popped right out of his mitt. That ball's drilled into center field. And that's going to roll to the warning track.
That's what I'm talking about, 2-9.
Corbett going to come home to score. RBI double by Barker. That'll bring up Jackson Walkowiak. Barker, the DH, is not going to run. Or actually, we just got a timeout. So we bring in the new pitcher. We'll be right back. It's going to be number 22, Kyle Zabarski.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
The new pitcher for your Cougars, Kyle Zabarski. He's on the front side of the stat sheet, which is a good thing. Zabarski, a 5.19 ERA. 17.1 innings pitched, has given up 13 hits. As that first one's drilled. McCowan cannot make the over-the-shoulder catch. So Walkowiak with a double. Advancing to third is Barker. I think McCowan could hear the footsteps of Sidden there as he just stopped going after that ball. The two nearly converged. Brings up Ryan Robinette. Zabarski, 17.1 innings pitched, 13 hits given up, 12 runs, 10 of those earned, 8 walks, 14 Ks. Opposing hitters swinging 206 versus him. Hard bunt over to Sullivan. He's just going to have to go to first on the good sacrifice by Robinette as Tech takes the lead. I guess I forgot to put the other one up. 6-4 now. Walkowiak now at third. Two gone for Colin Vandergroden. Had a sacrifice, RBI. Sacrifice to center field. That was back in the 4th inning. That ball is going to fall to score Walkowiak on the RBI single by Vandergroden. Pinch runner, number 31, that's Allen. Nick Allen, the freshman. Your batter is Logan Grizzle, 0 for 2 in this game. 4 hits in the inning here for Lawrence Tech. Seven runs on 7 hits. 0-1's your count to Grizzle. Allen is off. With a stolen base. Allen, that's his first stolen base of the season. Ballmer picks up the bunt. That's a can of corn for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 7-4. Lawrence Tech.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Welcome back, everybody. 7 runs on 7 hits, 0 errors for Lawrence Tech. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for St. Francis. Harold Wolf leading it off. Wolf 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. 0-1's your count.
Who else is upset? Anybody else upset? Pulling you for mental mistakes? If so, you're welcome to walk out together. We're on the same page, except for Will Zeller.
Come on, Harold, let's go, babe. Atta babe. Come on, Harold, come forward. Here we go, 4. Come on, Harold. Come forward, look good. Come here, 4, Mr. Harry. Yeah!
That ball ripped into left field. Leadoff single. 5th hit of the game for the Cougs. So Harold Wolf gets on first. That's going to bring up Jack Harris, first baseman. Jack struck out looking in his first at-bat. Jack's going to check that one low and outside for ball 1. That'll be fouled out of play. New pitcher's number 19 for Lawrence Tech, Kyle Sabin. Sabin's a freshman, 6'2", 185 from Walled Lake, Michigan. Sabin's on the second page of the stats. A 9.0 ERA. Harris is going to get hit there. Sabin, a 9 ERA in 1 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 1 walk, 0 strikeouts, and opposing batters are hitting .400. We got runners at first and second now for Caden Sullivan. Caden swinging one of the hottest bats here for St. Francis. A 5-game hit streak going on for Caden. Second best on the team next to Frymuth's 12-game hit streak.
Come on, Kate, let's go, man. Number 2-1, number 2-1.
And that's going to be a wild pitch as runners advance to third and second. 1-0 is your count. And we're going to have a conference call by head coach Stan Eldridge. He is not trying to lose this game up 7-4 in the 5th. 7 innings? 7-inning game here. Our second 7-inning game. Game 1 started at 2 p.m. Caden. That one sliced off the inside of his bat. That'll be a catch by the second baseman, Logan Grizzle, for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate David Miller. Telling Miller to tuck in his jersey. He says, man, can I get a double XL? Miller walked and flew out to left field. 0 for 1 in this game. 0 for 3 on the day. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Kyle Saban on the bump, the freshman. You know, Nick Saban used to coach at Michigan State. Long fly ball. Coming home to score is going to be Harold Wolf on the sacrifice fly. St. Francis picks up 1 run. 7-5 score. Harris advances to third. Two outs, your batter's Justice Tussing. Tussing 0 for 1 in this game. 1-0 is your count. Two 0's the count with 2 outs. Nick Saban, the great coach at Alabama. Boy, I remember when he was the head coach at Michigan State. Who's their running back? Was it TJ Duckett? Something like that. Big running back. They played Florida in a bowl game. Just beat them up. Michigan State, year in, year out, they just put together a good football team now under Mike D'Antonio. And I'll tell you what. 2-hop chop. Robinette, not in time as Tussing beats it out. Coming home to score will be Jack Harris on the RBI single by Justice Tussing. He's got the wheels.
Good wheels, Tuss. Yes. Send it to Nick. Yes. Nice job.
With 2 outs, that'll bring up Matt Ballmer.
Come on, Bulls. Say hi, Bulls.
Ballmer 3 for 3 with 3 RBI and a run scored on the day. 1-0 is the count with Tussing at first. Takes a second pitch for a called strike. We're evened up at 1 with 2 outs. Tussing obviously with a lot of speed at first. Ballmer hot at the plate. Makes me wonder, does Matt Ballmer have a nice little hit streak going on? It does at 2 games. Ballmer, a 3-game hit streak, did not have a hit. He was 0 for 2 in game number 1 against Marion. Ball into left field while Kowiak makes the grab for out number 3. We head to the top of the 6th. Cougs pick up 2 more, down by 1.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Lead it off here for Tech is the top of the order, Eddie Dropkowski. Dropkowski 1 for 3 with a run in this game. 2-0's the count. He had a single and a run scored back in the 5th. Ooh, nice snag by the assistant baseball coach there with the quick left hand. 2-1 the count. The ball hit into right, tailing foul.
David. Dude. Not too deep. Right there, David. In.
It's Kyle Zabarski on the bump. That ball drilled into left center. Frymuth underneath it. For out number 1. That'll bring up Tyler Childs, third baseman. Childs 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Lawrence Tech scoring 5 there in the top of the 5th. That ball slapped into right. Miller underneath it for out number 2. It's a 7-inning game, folks. That'll bring to the plate number 12. The pinch hitter is Jared Roth, batting for Sean Fannin. Roth did play in game number 1. He was 0 for 2 with a walk. Started third base in game number 1. Here batting for Fannin, who I have as the most valuable player for the Blue Devils. Fannin, a strong defensive right fielder, NAIA All-Gold Glove winner a year ago. And Fannin's only a junior. 0-2's your count. Sun making it tough on the outfielders. 1-2 your count. Zabarski, 14 pitches under his belt, 2 hits given up, 1 run, and it was earned. Swing and a miss. For out number 3, we head to the bottom of the 6th. Cougs down by 1.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
So it'll be the top of the order, Brady Harris for St. Francis. The new pitcher is number 14, Sean Fannin. So no wonder he didn't hit in the top half of the inning. We also thought we saw Fannin in game number 1 as well.
Lead, boys. Let's go right here. Hey, let's be loud.
It was Walkowiak, actually, who pitched for an inning there in game number 1. Walkowiak only gave up 1 walk in 10 pitches. 7-7-0 for Lawrence Tech. 6-7-2 for St. Francis. Harris. Grizzle for out number 1.
Let's go, Mick. Come on, Mick.
That'll bring up Mikhail McCowan. Grizzle, a junior second baseman, 6 foot 205. First pitch, a strike to Mikhail. Fannin, this is his first time pitching on the season. And that'll be an E6 for Robinette. Reaching first base is Mikhail McCowan. 1 out. Your batter's Noah Frymuth. Oh, a 2-run home run to take the lead wouldn't be too shabby for the back-to-back All-Crossroads League Offensive Player of the Week. 14 RBI and a slugging percentage of .909 last week for Frymuth. 1-0 is your count.
You're too fast.
Frymuth, who was a starting defensive end for the state championship Bishop Dwenger Saints here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Played ball with Pete Winklejohn and Landon Myers, Jeremy Herber, all on the Cougar football team. 2-1's your count. Frymuth at 6'2", 220. Big cut, 2-2's your count. Fannin, the junior outfielder. That ball ripped up the gut. And that will be an unassisted double play for Ryan Robinette. So we head to the top of the 7th. Lawrence Tech on top by 1.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Leading it off for Tech is Brian Corbett, first baseman. Corbett 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored in this game. He scored 4 runs on the day. 1-0's the count. And it's Kyle Zabarski still on the bump. We're evened up at 1 apiece. Zabarski and the Cougs trying to battle. 2-2 now your count. Pull up a victory here in this doubleheader after losing game 1, 12-4. 6 errors out in the field. Just 2 errors here in game number 2. Tech with just 1 error, and that was from Robinette, their shortstop. Backhanded by Harris, comes up. He is single by Corbett. 8th hit of the game for Lawrence Tech. That'll bring to the plate Logan Barker. Actually, it looks like we have a pinch hitter. Number 5, Luke Bushy. Bushy entering today with a 133 batting average. 4 hits, 9 runs scored, and 30 at-bats, 6 RBI, 9 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Bushy's going to bunt that foul. He's a freshman, 6'2", 205. He did play in game 1, or at least reach the plate. Bushy with a walk in game number 1. 0-1's your count. Pitch misses low. We're evened up at 1s. Zabarski with 1 strikeout and 1.2 innings pitched. Giving up 3 hits, 1 run, and it was earned. It's like 0-2's your count.
Come on, twos.
So runners at first and second now after the hit by pitch. Brings up Jackson Walkowiak. Walkowiak 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 1 for 4, 2 runs, 2 walks, and a K on the day. First pitch, big cut, swing and a miss. 0-1's your count. On the softball team, by far the best cleats are freshman Mariah Nicholson, wearing the United States flag themed cleats. They are sharp. Oh, here's something interesting. first baseman, the runner at first, and the batter all wearing the same New Balance cleats. Jacks are black. Runner at first, Bushy, he's got blue New Balance on. 1-1's your count. Somehow Harris got involved on that memo. Beautiful pitch there for a called second strike by Kyle Zabarski from Willoughby, Ohio. Willoughby South High School. Pitch upstairs and outside. We're evened up at 2 apiece.
Come on, Zeke, find it, baby, right here, right here. Oh, yeah!
Gets him looking. Route number 1. That'll bring up shortstop Ryan Robinette, who had the unassisted double play to end the bottom of the 6th. He's looking like a Gold Glove shortstop, even though he has the 1 error. It was the throwing error.
You ready, Kaden?
Two O's to count. USF currently tied for 7th place in the Crossroads League with a 3-5 conference record. We'll pick up Crossroads League play on Friday at Bethel. 3 O's to count.
Come on, Steve, let's go!
Robinette taking all the way there for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
All the way back, let's go.
Yeah, called second strike as Robinette tried to take first base.
Come now, Zeeves. Best pitch right here. Let's go, kid. Come now. Come.
Sullivan makes the tag for out number 1, the double play. To end the inning, Caden Sullivan with the 5-3. Head to the bottom of the 7th, last chance here for the Cougars.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Last chance here for the Cougs. Leading it off will be Harold Wolf, Jack Harris, then Caden Sullivan.
18 for 5, Connor.
Come on, Wolf. Come on, Wolf.
7 hits on 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Lawrence Tech. 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for St. Francis.
Hey, 2 buttons in the zip. Dang, 2 buttons in the zip.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Wolf 1 for 2 in this game with 2 runs scored and a walk. This is inside, 2-1 now. That ball gets right past Robinette. That's a leadoff single. 8th hit of the game for St. Francis. That'll bring up Jack Harris.
2 buttons in the zip.
Jack was hit by a pitch, 0 for 2 in this game with the run scored. He's hit by a pitch in his last AB. He takes that first pitch for a strike. Jack 1 for 4. So he's now 1 for 6, 2 runs scored, 2 strikeouts on the day.
Come on, Jackie. Yeah!
Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Go ahead run at the plate here for the Cougs. Your pitcher is Ben Schmidt, freshman, 6'3", 195 from Northville, Michigan.
Hey, we need a little 2 buttons in the zip here.
Schmidt, a 4.05 ERA and 13.1 innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, and batters. They're only hitting .220 against Schmidt's. Ben Schmidt. 1-2's your count to Jack Harris with no outs. We'll stay at 1 and 2.
Jackie, get your pitch, baby.
Schmidt's a tall righty. Harris checks that ball upstairs, 2-2. Harris works his count full with 0 outs.
Hey, be loud, Dugout, let's go!
On the day, both teams with 18 hits under their belt.
On you, Jack, let's go, baby!
That ball right up the gut. Robinette, the unassisted double play.
Hey, we're good, Katie. Come on, baby. We need you. Hey, only need 1, boys. Let's go.
Brings up Caden Sullivan. Good opportunity here for his first home run of the season.
Come on, Kaden. Let's go, baby. Anyway on, Kaden. Anyway on. Come on, Sully. It's okay.
Sully's been swinging a good bat. 1 for 2 in game number 1. 2 for 3 with a run scored in game number 2. Oh, 1 your count.
Come on, Kaden! Got it, baby!
High and inside. We're evened up at 1s.
Come on, Kaden!
Good check swing on the ball. Below the zone, 2-1.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We're not done. Hey, we ain't done yet.
That ball ripped into left field. 2-out single by Caden Sullivan. Cougs now out hitting Lawrence Tech 9-8. That'll bring up David Miller. The conference call being made by the skipper, Stan Eldridge, the only coach Lawrence Tech's ever known. Here in their 4th season of the program. Like I said, now they got a football program there at Lawrence Tech. They were 5-3 in football, beating up teams like Oakland University Club, Wisconsin Lutheran, Eastern Michigan Club. They didn't want to play the Cougars this year. They did lose in their last game, 51-19 to Indiana Wesleyan, both first-year programs. So yeah, it looks like 2016-17, their first season. 6-24 in the WAC under Stan Eldridge in that first year. Miller, that'll be beaten down by the first baseman for out number 3. That will do it, folks. Lawrence Tech sweeps on the day. They take game number 2, 7-6. Cougars out hitting Lawrence Tech 9-8. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. Until next time, I'm Jeff Mahoney. Have a great week.